Dear brothers and sisters, there is no such nonsense that people cannot believe. When they say that history repeats itself, it is not just about the recurring events, but about our inability to learn from the past. We often see history as a mere theory, forgetting that it is a treasure trove of lessons waiting to be learned. When today becomes yesterday, it becomes part of the past, and although we try to let it go, we cannot forget the valuable lessons it holds. If we paid attention to the lessons of our history, we would have the solutions to many of our current problems. History is not something to be studied. It is meant to be learned and absorbed. Without history, we would have no future. Let us stop treating history as a mere glimpse and start absorbing its lessons to shape a better tomorrow. Those weren't no beautiful days. The world's first restaurant opened in Paris in 1765. It was not a tavern, but a broth bar where one could sit alone, order freely, and eat whenever one wanted. Immerse yourself in the true story of Dr. Viktor Weich, a Soviet scientist and former atheist whose research into the subtle world changed everything he believed in. In this fascinating story, learn how, despite persecution by the Soviet regime, Weich developed his revolutionary theories on consciousness, the subtle realms, and spiritual phenomena. After a fateful encounter with a dying priest, his profound transformation from materialist to believer began. Another story from the novel by Lev Nikolaevich Tolstoy. What emerges is not just a personal story of redemption, but a devastating indictment of an entire society. Tolstoy turns his merciless gaze on every pillar of Russian life, the aristocratic circles, where Nekhludov moves with empty, refined elegance, the corrupt courts, where justice is bought and sold, the Orthodox Church that blesses state-sanctioned violence, and the nightmarish prison transports where political dissidents mingle with hardened criminals. The power of the novel, Resurrection, comes from its devastating specificity. We see the feet of prisoners marching into exile, smell the stench of overcrowded cells, and hear the empty rhetoric of officials defending a system designed to destroy human dignity. At its heart, Resurrection grapples with the central obsession of Tolstoy's late life: how to live ethically in an immoral world. Nekhludov's transformation from a contented nobleman to a radical critic mirrors Tolstoy's own journey, as he increasingly rejected his aristocratic privileges, embraced pacifism, and called for a Christianity devoid of church dogmas. The novel's title does not refer to any conventional religious miracle, but to a painful awakening of the human conscience. Inner peace doesn't come from getting what we want, but from remembering who we are. The world is full of poems, but you have to be quiet to hear them. Everything that needs to be said has already been said. But since no one was listening, everything must be said again. So people often say that being a guru is not easy. But I believe in today's world, being a genuinely good person is the hardest thing of all. There is no reason why good cannot triumph as often as evil. The triumph of anything is a matter of organization. If there are such things as angels, I have that they are organized along the lines of the mafia, Kurt Vonnegut said. Have you visited Lake Garda, or would you like to know more? I saw this lake last year in Italy. Located in northern Italy, Lake Garda is Italy's largest lake, a popular tourist destination, known for its stunning scenery, charming towns, and mild climate, surrounded by picturesque villages, vineyards, and olive groves. Some popular activities include boating and water sports, hiking and cycling, visiting historic towns like Sirmione and Riva del Garda, enjoying local cuisine and wine. But the essence of my thinking is that a man should so live that his happiness depends as little as possible on external things. True contentment comes from within, not from external circumstances. By mastering our attitudes and desires, we build resilience and find lasting happiness beyond fleeting outside influences. Far away, the sunshine are my highest aspirations. I may not reach them, but I can look up and see their beauty. It's okay if you don't reach every goal. The act of striving towards beauty is its own reward. Let your vision guide you, look up and move forward. Books are easily destroyed, but words will live as long as people can remember them. So remember the words of today. Words outlast flames, bullets, and time. The power lives in hearts and minds. Stories matter, truth survives. Be careful what you speak. Great men cultivate love. Only little men cherish a spirit of hatred. Greatness lies in fostering love over hate. Professionals embracing compassion build meaningful relationships, driving collaborative success and ethical leaderships in diverse, challenging environments. Live in the sunshine, swim in the sea, drink the wild air. Unplug, reconnect with nature, let your soul breathe. Words of mine are a call to embrace the raw, untamed joy of being alive. A cage went in search of a bird, Franz Kafka said. This haunting line says everything about control, desire, and loss. Sometimes we trap what we fear we'll lose. Freedom is love, not possession. Do you love your home, your family home, that on the summer night through the silver fog, with the rustle of its limb trees echoes your dreams and soothes your tears with its silence? Do you love your home, that old roof that tells the tale of old days, the family threshold of mossy gates that greets you from turning roads? Do Do you love your home, the refreshing scent? Do you love your home, the dark forest pouring into your boiling blood? Do you love your home, your family home? What in the midst of storms, in the depths of despair, when thunder strikes your soul, saves you with its memory? Or if you love, if you want, to live under this roof, to eat bread and grain, guard the thresholds of your homeland with your heart. Put your heart in the walls of your homeland. Last month, I was in the United States, and I was walking through Manhattan. The Empire State Building stands proudly in the foreground, glowing against the night sky like a timeless guardian of New York City. In a distant background, the Freedom Tower rises with quiet strength, a symbol of resilience and hope. Together, they tell the story of a city that never sleeps and never gives up. Whatever happens, stay alive, beloved. Don't die before you die. Don't lose yourself. Don't lose hope. Don't lose direction. Stay alive with yourself, with every cell of your body, with every fiber of your skin. Stay alive, learn, study, think, read, build, invent, create, speak, write, dream, design. Stay alive inside, stay alive outside. Fill yourself with the colors of the world. Fill yourself with space and peace. Will fill yourself with hope. Stay alive with joy. There is only one thing you should never waste in life, and that is life itself. The idea of a better church created by ourselves is in fact a proposal of the devil, with which he wants to distance us from the living God, using a lying logic into which we too easily fall. No, even today the church is not made up only of bad fish and weeds. The church of God is present today too, and even today it is the instrument by which God saves us. It is very important to oppose the lies and half-truths of the devil with the whole truth. Yes, sin and the evil exist in the church, but even today there is also a holy church that is indestructible. Even today there are many people who humbly believe, suffer and love, and in whom the true God, the God who loves, shows himself to us. Even today God has his witnesses, martyrs in the world. We only have to be vigilant to see and listen to them. Even an averagely gifted person, having run through several centuries, becomes mature. I have expressed the view several times that every nation and even every individual, instead of lulling its vigilance into mundane political questions of guilt, must examine to what extent, as a result of errors, omissions, and bad habits, in itself bears responsibility for war and for all the other misery of the world, and that it is perhaps the only way to prevent another war. Man is not something already created, but a postulate of the spirit, a distant, at the same time longed for, arousing fear, and that the path to it is made only in small stages, and is in terrible torments and ecstasies. Man is not, after all, some strong and permanent form. He is rather a trial and a transitional state. He is nothing more than a narrow, dangerous bridge between nature and spirit. Help each other live and grow in the Christian faith, so as to be courageous witnesses of the Lord. Be united but not closed. Be humble but not fearful. Be simple but not naive. Be prudent but not complicated. Enter into dialogue with others. Be yourselves.